My name is Ava Reynolds, 34 years old, born and raised in Boise, Idaho, but home is wherever I park my Jeep for the night. I'm a freelance investigative journalist, the kind who digs into cold cases, missing persons, and the stories most people would rather forget. Short auburn hair that I usually hide under a worn Boise State cap, faded leather jacket patched at the elbows, boots that have walked more crime scenes than red carpets. I live on black coffee, true crime podcasts, and the kind of curiosity that gets people into trouble. This is my story, the one I never thought I'd tell, because I didn't believe in this stuff. Not really. I've spent years debunking urban legends, chasing rational explanations for the irrational. But what happened to me starting October 17th, 2023, changed everything. It started on a road that doesn't exist, not on Google Maps, not on satellite imagery, not in any Utah DOT database. Truckers along I-70 call it the Nowhere Road. Rangers in the swell warn hikers to ignore any unmarked exit past Ghost Rocks. People vanish there. Cars found empty, phones wiped clean, whispers on dead radios saying stay. I didn't listen to the warnings, and now I'm putting this down in writing because if you're reading it, maybe you've already felt that tug. Maybe your GPS just rerouted you for no reason. Turn around while you still can. That day had started normal. I'd wrapped interviews in Moab for a new series on national park disappearances. The last one was with a veteran ranger who told me about a 28-year-old hiker who walked into arches in 2020 and simply ceased to exist. His pack was found folded neatly beside delicate arch. No footprints leading away, no struggle, just gone. The ranger's eyes had that haunted look I know too well, the one that says they've seen things they can't explain. By late afternoon, I was westbound on I-70 in my black 2018 Jeep Wrangler, the one with the cracked windshield from a flying rock in Nevada, and the "I brake for ghosts" bumper sticker a sarcastic ex got me as a joke. Camera bags and lenses rattled in the back, voice recorder on the passenger seat next to a half-empty Starbucks cold brew, paper atlas folded open on the dash because I don't fully trust tech in the desert. The San Rafael swell stretched out like another planet. Endless red rock cathedrals, mesas rising like ancient temples, the highway cutting straight through them. The sun was low, painting everything in that impossible Utah fire. Vermilion cliffs glowing, shadows stretching long and sharp across the asphalt. Cell service had dropped an hour earlier, but that's standard once you're past Green River. Nothing but open road, occasional semis, and those eerie formations everyone calls the Ghost Rocks, tall spires that look like frozen screams against the sky. I was listening to a podcast about the Dyatlov Pass when my phone started acting up. The screen flickered, map lines jittering like bad reception. The calm female GPS voice interrupted, recalculating. Again and again. Then, in 1 mile, take the exit on the right. I snorted. There hadn't been an exit for 80 miles, just desert and more desert. But as I crested a gentle rise, there it was, an unmarked off-ramp curving smoothly away from the interstate, half hidden by a bend in the canyon wall. The asphalt looked brand new, black and flawless, no fading stripes, no cracks, no debris, no green sign, no mile marker, no reflectors flashing in my headlights as dusk deepened. Every professional instinct screamed no. I've written enough missing persons pieces to know unmarked roads at twilight are where stories end. But I'm wired wrong. Curiosity is my drug. I told myself, old maintenance road, hidden scenic pullout, maybe a forgotten mining spur worth photographing for the article. 5 minutes to check, then back on I-70. I signaled out of habit, no one around to see, and took the exit. The change was immediate. The distant growl of interstate traffic vanished, like someone hit mute on the world. The wind that had been whipping dust across the highway died completely. Even the Jeep's engine note dropped, muffled as if the air itself had thickened. The road narrowed to two perfect lanes, impossibly smooth, flanked by canyon walls that rose higher and steeper with each curve, their striped layers catching the last light like veins of blood in stone. My phone screen went dead black, not low battery black, absolute void, as if the device had been factory reset to nothing. I smacked it against the steering wheel, held the power button. Nothing. I tossed it on the seat and grabbed the paper atlas. The page for this stretch of Utah showed I-70 cutting straight through blank space. No secondary road, no dotted line, nothing. A chill crawled up my spine, but I pushed it down. Spotty service, dead battery, coincidences. I slowed, looking for a turnout. The shoulders were narrow, cliffs pressing close. Ahead, the road curved invitingly, almost glowing in the frozen sunset. Something tugged deep in my chest, a subtle hook behind my ribs, urging me forward. Not fear, not excitement, just need. I kept driving. Time started to slip. The sun refused to set, locked in that bloody half-disk phase on the horizon. My fuel gauge stayed exactly where it had been, 3/4 full. The same gnarled rock spire appeared on my left 3 separate times, but each pass the shadows fell from impossible angles, as if the light source had shifted without moving. I finally spotted a wider shoulder and began a careful U-turn. That's when I checked the rearview mirror, and my breath caught. The ramp, the exit ramp back to I-70, still there, maybe 300 yards behind me. My heart slammed into high gear. I'd been driving at least 40 minutes. How was it still right there? I threw the Jeep into reverse and floored it. The road stayed straight, almost encouraging, no curves to fight. But as I closed the distance, the air ahead shimmered, cold, rippling distortion, like heat rising off summer pavement. The glimpse of interstate beyond the ramp blurred, wavered, and vanished. Just seamless red rock wall remained, ancient and unmarked, faint petroglyphs etched across it that I could swear hadn't been visible before. I braked hard, tires skidding in dust that settled too slowly. I sat there, hands gripping the wheel, staring at solid stone where an exit had been seconds ago. That's when the lights appeared ahead. Not headlights, town lights, warm golden windows glowing softly in a small settlement, unfolding from the canyon like a memory someone else had misplaced. A classic roadside diner with flickering pink and blue neon, Evelyn's Place, open 24 hours. An old-fashioned gas station with a single visible pump, prices frozen at 38 cents a gallon. A low-slung motel called the Starlight, its vacancy sign buzzing electric blue against the deepening dusk. And in the motel office window, directly beneath the humming sign, stood a tall figure, perfectly still, backlit, features lost in shadow, just the sharp outline of broad shoulders and a head tilted slightly, as if listening to something I couldn't hear. They didn't move, didn't wave, didn't step away from the glass. They just watched. I felt the stare through 50 yards of twilight, through the windshield, straight into me, heavy, patient, knowing. The hook in my chest pulled harder, sharp now, almost painful. There was nowhere behind me anymore. I shifted in drive and rolled slowly towards the lights. I parked the Jeep in the gravel lot beside the diner, killing the engine with a twist of the key that felt louder than it should have in the unnatural quiet. The only other vehicles were that dust-caked '67 Chevy pickup, faded paint, no plates, and the cherry-red Ford Falcon that looked like it had just rolled off a Detroit assembly line in 1960. Not a speck of road grime on it. Weird, but my brain was already overloaded. The neon sign above the diner buzzed faintly. Evelyn's Place, open 24 hours. The script letters flickered pink and blue, the kind of sign you see in old postcards, not real life anymore. I grabbed my notebook and voice recorder out of habit, journalist muscle memory. even though the recorder's battery light was dead, same as my phone. Leather jacket zipped against the October chill that shouldn't feel this sharp. I stepped out. Gravel crunched too loud under my boots. The air smelled like desert sage, hot engine oil, and something sweeter underneath, like pie cooling on a windowsill, but off somehow. Metallic. I couldn't place it. The bell over the door jingled when I pushed inside, a cheerful sound that felt wrong in the stillness. Warm light washed over me. The place was pure Americana time capsule. Red vinyl booths cracked just enough to look lived in, chrome-edged Formica counter gleaming, black and white checkered floor polished to a shine. A Wurlitzer jukebox glowed in the corner, needle already down on a 45, Patsy Cline crooning, Walkin' After Midnight, low and mournful. 3 people turned to look. Behind the counter stood a woman in her 60s, silver hair teased into a perfect beehive that hadn't moved since Eisenhower. Pale blue waitress uniform, white apron, name tag pinned neatly. Evelyn. Her smile was wide, maternal, the kind your grandma gives when she's about to feed you whether you're hungry or not. In the farthest booth sat a man, mid-40s maybe, faded denim jacket, trucker cap pulled low over his eyes. He didn't lift his head, just kept staring into a coffee mug like it owed him money. Closest to the door, in the booth I'd end up choosing anyway, was a young woman, early 20s, dark hair in soft waves, red lipstick bold against pale skin. She wore a floral sundress that belonged on a July picnic, not an October night in the high desert. Her smile hit me first, too wide, too knowing, like she'd been waiting for me to walk through that exact door at that exact minute. "Evenin', darlin'," Evelyn called, voice warm with a faint Midwest drawl. "Don't just stand there letting the cold in. Grab a seat anywhere you like. Coffee's fresh and strong." I slid into the booth nearest the exit, old habit from too many sketchy interviews. My hands were still shaky from the drive, adrenaline buzzing under my skin. I set my dead phone and recorder on the table, like they might magically reboot. Evelyn appeared beside me before I'd even settled, pot in one hand, mug in the other. She poured without asking. Black, 2 sugars, exactly how I drink it. I stared at the steam rising. "How did you know?" She winked, crow's feet crinkling. "We get a feel for our travelers after a while. You look like a 2-sugar girl." I wrapped my fingers around the warmth. The mug was classish diner thick, chip on the rim like it had stories. "Place is quiet. Always is this time of night," she said, wiping the already spotless counter with a rag. "You're new, though. Haven't seen your face before." "That obvious?" "You've got the look," she said softly. "Wide eyes, tight shoulders, like you took a wrong turn and can't quite believe where you landed." The young woman in the sundress leaned forward, elbows on the table. "I'm Clara," she said, voice light but clear, carrying across the diner without effort. "Welcome to Haven Rest." I glanced around. No sign outside said Haven Rest. "Is that the town name?" "That's what we call it," Clara replied. Her smile never wavered. "Population varies." The trucker in the back grunted, barely audible, but didn't look up. I pulled my notebook closer, flipped it open. "Mind if I ask a few questions? I'm a journalist." Evelyn interrupted gently, sliding a laminated menu across the table. "Food first, questions later, honey. You've had a long drive. You need something in your stomach before your brain starts spinning." The menu was classic. Burgers, patty melts, chili, apple pie a la mode. Prices hadn't changed since the 70s. Burger plate $2.95. I ordered the cheeseburger deluxe and fries, mostly to buy time, keep my hands busy. As Evelyn walked back to the kitchen pass-through, Clara spoke again. "You felt it, didn't you? The pull." I froze mid-sip. Coffee burned my tongue. "What pull?" "The one that brought you here." Her eyes were dark, almost black in the diner light. "Everyone feels it different. Some hear voices on a dead radio, some see headlights that aren't there, but it always tugs the same place, right behind the ribs, like a hook." I set the mug down harder than I meant to. "Lady, I took a wrong exit. My GPS glitched
phone died, and now I'm here. That's all." Clara tilted her head, studying me. "Is it?" The pass-through bell dinged. Evelyn appeared with my plate, burger steaming, fries golden, pickle spear on the side. It looked perfect, smelled perfect, but my stomach nodded. "Eat up," she said, refilling my coffee. "You'll think clearer with food in you." I picked up the burger. First bite was heaven, juicy, salty, cheese melted just right. But halfway through the second, I noticed the trucker still hadn't moved. Same position, same stare into his coffee. Coffee level hadn't dropped. I glanced out the window toward the motel. The tall silhouette was still there, unmoving under the buzzing vacancy sign. Watching the diner now. Watching me. Clara followed my gaze. "That's Harlan. He keeps an eye on things." "Things?" "New arrivals," she said simply. "Makes sure everyone settles in okay." The jukebox clicked on its own. No one had fed it a quarter. The record changed with a soft scratch. Patsy Cline faded out, replaced by something slower, sadder. I fall to pieces. I set the burger down. Appetite gone. "Look, I just need directions back to I-70. My phone's dead, maps useless. How far is the interstate from here?" Evelyn and Clara exchanged a glance I couldn't read. "Hard to say," Evelyn answered finally. "Roads shift out here, especially after dark." "Shift?" Clara leaned closer. "Some folks find their way back quick. Others take longer. A few decide they like it here and stay." I laughed, short, nervous. "I've got deadlines, editor waiting on copy. I'm not staying." Evelyn's smile softened, almost sad. That's what they all say at first. Outside, the vacancy sign flickered once, off, then on again, like a slow blink. I looked at my half-eaten plate, at the three faces watching me with varying degrees of patience, and felt that hook in my chest twist deeper. Whatever Haven Rest was, I was already in it, and something told me breakfast might be a long time coming.
The hook in my chest twisted again as I pushed through the motel office door, the bell jingling like a bad omen. Same chime as the diner, but sharper, echoing off the wood-paneled walls. The air inside hit me thick with the scent of old cigarette smoke, Lysol, and that same metallic tang from Evelyn's. The place screamed 70s motel lobby, orange shag carpet worn thin in paths, a faux wood counter cluttered with faded keys on diamond rings, a console TV in the corner tuned to static snow with a ghost of Lawrence Welk dancing through the fuzz. A guest register lay open, pen dangling from a chain, last entry smudged. J. Harlan, room 7, 10:15:58. Harlan, the silhouette from the window. He was there now, in the flesh, leaning on the counter like he'd never moved. Tall, 6'4" easy, broad as a linebacker gone to seed, with a face like weathered sandstone, deep creases around pale blue eyes, salt and pepper stubble, flannel shirts stretched over a barrel chest, jeans faded to gray. Trucker hat from the diner? No, this was the motel guy, but something about his grunt earlier connected. He straightened slow, eyes locking on mine with that same unblinking weight. Not hostile, assessing, like sizing up livestock at auction. "Room?" he rumbled, voice low, gravel, no hello, no smile. Keys jangled in his massive hand. I swallowed, glancing back at the diner across the lot. Clara's sundress fluttered in the doorway, her wave too cheerful. Evelyn busied herself inside, but I felt watched. My Jeep sat alone now, the Chevy and Falcon gone, like they'd dissolved. "Yeah, one night. Cash okay?" He nodded, sliding the register across. "Sign, $25. $25 in 2023 Utah? I scribbled Ava Reynolds Boise ID without thinking, handed over a 20 and a 10 for my wallet, crisp bills that suddenly felt wrong here. He pocketed them without ringing a register, handed me key 13. Brass, heavy, stamped with a star. "Room's down the breezeway. No TV works right. Water's hot. Don't wander after midnight." I pocketed the key. "This town, Haven Rest? Never heard of it. How do I get back to I-70? Harlan's eyes narrowed, shadows playing tricks in the low light. "Road knows. Sleep on it. Things clear up by morning. Clear up? My phone's dead. Exit vanished. This isn't normal. His laugh was dry, like sandpaper. Normal left at the ramp, miss. Some find the way quick. Others, he trailed off, glancing at the register. J. Harlan, that me, long time back. Came for gas, stayed. My skin prickled. Stayed how long? Long enough. He jerked his chin toward the window. Clara, arrived 89, prom dress and all. Trucker has been looping since '02. Evelyn, she's the constant. Keeps the lights on. The hook yanked, sharp, insistent. Looping? What is this place? Harlan leaned closer, breath smelling of black coffee and regret. Portal, some call it. Thin spot in the swell where the old highway bled through. Route 666, Devil's Backbone, before they renumbered. Pulls the lost, ones with unfinished roads. You chase ghosts, they chase back. I backed up a step. How do you read the book? He tapped the register. All of us wrote it. Yours ain't the first Jeep neither. Outside, the vacancy sign flickered, blue to off to blue, like a heartbeat stuttering. The sun still hung low, mocking time. I grabbed the key. Room 13 got Wi-Fi, power outlet, plenty ghosts, no signal. He turned away, dismissing me. Lock up tight. Whispers start at dark. I bolted for the breezeway, boots thudding on concrete that felt spongy. Doors lined both sides, 1 to 12 left, 14 to 20 right, 13 dead center, paint peeling like sunburned skin. Key stuck twice before clicking. Inside, twin beds with chenille spreads, nightstand Bible, Givians, yellowed, lamp with a 40-watt bulb casting long shadows, bathroom tiny, porcelain cracked but clean, shower dripping rhythmic. No phone, no clock. My duffel from the Jeep, I'd grabbed it from Evelyn's lot, thumped on the bed. I plugged in my phone. Nothing. Recorder, too. Laptop's charger sparked once, died. Dead Tech Island. Dug out the atlas again. Same blank canyon. Notebook out. I scribbled frantic. Haven Rest. No maps. Harlan. Portal. Trapped Souls. Clara. 1989. Trucker. 2002. Evelyn. Eternal. Pole equals hook in chest. Exit, mirage. Time static. Sunset, 2 hours? Voices murmured outside. Clara's laugh, Evelyn calling closing time. Trucker's gravel of another. Then silence, heavy as fog. Shower first. Water scalded perfect, steam fogging the mirror. As I toweled off, the drip became Morse. Tap, tap, pause, tap. Whispers seeped through the vent, faint, overlapping. Stay, join, yours now. Radio static? No radio. Heart hammering. I yanked on jeans, hoodie, boots, sleep-in clothes, ready to run. Bed creaked under me. Lamp off. Moonlight? No moon. Stars wrong overhead. Too many, swirling like drain water. Hook throbbed, sinking with my pulse. Drifted uneasy. Dream or real? Door rattled soft, footsteps in the breezeway, slow, deliberate. Paused at 13. Knob turned but locked, but pressure built. Whispers louder. Ava, unfinished. Mia waits. Mia? My sister, dead 5 years? Car wreck on I-84. Unfinished story, her case I'd shelved. No one here knew. Bolt upright, sweating. Knob stilled. Silence. Clockless dark. Hours? The hook eased to ache. Faint knock. 3 raps. Miss Reynolds? Harlan's voice, muffled. Breakfast at dawn. Road talks then. I didn't answer. Curled fetal, notebook clutched. Scratched by feel. They know Mia. Personal. Get out. Gray light filtered. Pre-dawn. Sun still not set fully? No. Risen wrong. Blood orange haze. Dressed fast. Key in pocket. Door cracked, breezeway empty, but door 7 ajar. Harlan's? Shadow inside stretched wrong, elongated like petroglyph man. Back to diner? Jeep first. Keys jangled. Tires flat? No, full air, but dust layer thick overnight, like weeks parked. Engine turned, but headlights dimmed funny. Beams bent back at me in mirror. Clara waited at diner steps, sundress pristine. Slept okay? Nightmares. Engine off. Harlan said portal. True? Her smile faded edges. Some leave. Pay the toll. Toll? The truth. Face the pull.
Mia's yours, Ava. Let go or stay. Ice water veins. How? Evelyn serves it up. Eat, decide. Inside, Evelyn poured coffee. Trucker, same booth, mug full. Now, Harlan at the counter, nodding. Plate slid. Pancakes, bacon, eggs sunnyside. Smelled home. Mom's recipe from Boise Sundays. Ate, mechanical. Hook quieted with food. Toll? Harlan spoke. The road wants balance. Tell your ghost goodbye, it spits you to I-70. Lie, loop forever. Clara touched my hand. Cold fingers. I lied. Prom night crash. Blamed myself. Stayed. Trucker grunted. Wife left. Chased wrong truck. Here since '02. Evelyn sighed. I waited for Harold. War bride. He never came. My Mia. Guilt crash. Unsolved hit and run. How? Mirror, Harlan said. Room 13, bath. Stare till it shows. Back to motel. Stomach churning. Mirror fog cleared slow. Reflection, me, then rippled. Teen Mia laughing shotgun, I-84, rain, swerve, lights blindside. Scream, wreckage. Your fault, chasing story, not watching. Tears hot. Sorry, Mia. Loved you. Let go. Mirror shattered, glass imploding inward, vortex suck. Hook snapped free. World warped, room spun, colors bleeding. Fell through. Eyes open, Jeep on I-70 shoulder, dawn breaking normal. Phone buzzed, 87% battery, 20 missed calls, date October 18. Hours lost. Atlas, smudged ink, Haven Rest scratched out. Rear view, canyon empty, no town, no lights. But key in pocket, brass star, warm. Notebook, pages filled their handwriting. Welcome back, some roads call twice. Dashboard clock, 6:47 a.m. Sun rose, right. Drove west, hands white-knuckled. Podcast queued, new missing, Jeep Wrangler Moab plate, driver Ava R. Vanished 10:17 near swell. Pulled over, puked bile. Hook gone or waiting. Haven Rest, watched.
I sat on the shoulder of I-70 for what felt like hours, engine idling, staring at the brass key in my palm. Room 13. The Starlight Motel. Haven Rest. The metal was still warm, like it had been sitting in sunlight, but the October morning around me was crisp and cold, normal Utah high desert cold. My phone buzzed nonstop now, texts from my editor, voicemails from friends wondering why I'd gone radio silent for a day. Date on the dash, October 18th, 2023. One night lost. Or gained, I wasn't sure. The podcast app had auto-played a news alert. Search continues for Boise journalist Ava Reynolds, last seen near Moab. Black Jeep Wrangler, Idaho plates. My own face stared back from the thumbnail. Driver's license photo, unsmiling. Missing. Officially. I pulled back onto the highway, hands shaking on the wheel. West toward Salt Lake, then north to Boise. I needed home. Needed normal. Needed to prove I'd escaped whatever the hell that place was. But the hook was gone from my chest, replaced by a hollow ache, like something vital had been scooped out. The drive blurred. Salina, Provo, Salt Lake traffic. Every mile I expected the canyon walls to close in again, the exit to reappear in my rear view. But the interstate stayed interstate. Semis, billboards, gas stations with 489 unleaded. Real world. By evening, I was in Boise, pulling into my apartment complex off State Street. Familiar brick building, snow still clinging to the foothills. I killed the engine, sat in silence. My place looked exactly as I'd left it. Mail piled inside the door, dishes in the sink from the morning I'd flown to Denver 2 weeks earlier. I dropped my duffel, plugged in everything. Phone, laptop, recorder, all charged, like nothing happened. I opened my notebook to the last page I remembered writing. Frantic scrawl about Haven Rest, Harlan, Clara, the mirror. But the pages after that weren't mine. Neat handwriting, different pens, different hands. Clara, you paid the toll, Ava. Most don't. Be careful. The road remembers kindness. Harlan, key stays warm till you need it again. Some debts ain't settled with one goodbye. Evelyn, Come back for pie anytime, honey. Table's always set. Trucker, block letters. Watch, mirrors. I slammed it shut, heart racing. Hallucination? No, the ink was real. Blue ballpoint, black felt tip, pencil. I hadn't packed multiple pens. Sleep didn't come easy that night. Every time I drifted, I heard dripping, bathroom faucet, rhythmic like the motel shower, whispers threading through, unfinished. Mia waits. I woke sweating at 3 a.m., stumbled to the bathroom, mirror fogged though I hadn't showered. I wiped it clear. My reflection stared back, then rippled. Not me, Mia, 17, prom dress from the crash night, blood trickle at her temple, eyes accusing. You left me there, Ava, chasing your story, always chasing. I backed away, flipped the light. Normal mirror again, just me, pale, exhausted. Next weeks were hell. I filed the park disappearances piece, watered down, no mention of unmarked roads. Editor loved it, got calls for podcasts, TV spots, rising star in true crime, they said. But I couldn't look at mirrors, covered every one in the apartment with towels, avoided public restrooms, drove with rear view flipped up. The key stayed in my jacket pocket, warm, always warm. November rolled in, snow dusting Boise. I took a new assignment, cold case in Nevada, missing trucker on old Route 50, loneliest road in America. I told myself it was fine, different highway. Nevada desert at dusk. My phone glitched, recalculating, same calm voice. I floored it past the supposed exit. Nothing there, just sagebrush. But in the side mirror, brief flash, Red Rock Canyon, neon vacancy sign flickering. I didn't stop. December now. Christmas lights up on State Street. I'm functional, writing, interviewing, smiling for Zoom calls, but the hollow ache grew. Dreams worse. Mia walking away down the nowhere road, calling over her shoulder, "You promised to find who hit us. You quit." She was right. I'd shelved her case after 2 years. Leads dried up. I moved on to easier stories. The key burned hotter every night. December 21st, winter solstice, longest night. I sat at my desk staring at the notebook. Their messages unchanged. Added one below in my own hand. I'm sorry. I'll finish it. Key cooled for the first time. That night, dreams sharp as reality. Standing outside the starlight, Harlan at the office window nodding approval, Clara waving from the diner, Evelyn holding a slice of pie, Trucker tipping his hat. Vacancy sign steady blue, door 13 open, light spilling warm. I woke with purpose. Next morning, today, December 22nd, I'm packed again, Jeep loaded, heading south. Back to Utah, back to the swell. Not to stay, to finish what I started. Mia's hit and run. The driver was a long-haul trucker. Witness saw a faded Peterbilt with no plates. Case went cold because I stopped pushing. This time, I won't. The road will open again, I know it. Keys warm once more, pulsing like a heartbeat. I'll take the exit on purpose, walk into Haven Rest with eyes open, ask questions, dig. Because some stories don't let you go until you tell them right, and some roads only let you leave when there's nothing left pulling you back. Mirror in my apartment, uncovered now, showed me smiling this morning. Real smile. Mia stood behind me, hand on my shoulder, faint, but there. Nodding. I'm coming, sis. Hold tight. The interstate stretches south, sunset bleeding orange over the horizon. Same frozen light I remember. Phone in the console, fully charged. I won't need it where I'm going. Key on the dash, gleaming. Almost there. Almost home. No, almost free. December 22nd, 2025. 2 years exactly since I last drove south out of Boise, with the brass key burning a hole in my pocket. The Jeep's odometer has rolled over once since then, tires replaced twice, but everything else feels the same. Cracked windshield patched with clear tape, eye brake for ghosts sticker faded but still there, cold brew sweating in the cup holder. Only difference is me. I'm not running this time.
I'm answering. The key never cooled again after that solstice night in 23. It stayed warm, pulsing like a second heartbeat whenever I opened Mia's cold case box in the closet. Witness statements, blurry dashcam stills, the faded Peterbilt with no plates. I'd worked it obsessively for 18 months. New leads, old trucker forums, anonymous tips that went nowhere. Then, 6 months ago, a break. A retired dispatcher in Reno remembered a driver named Red Harlan who hauled freight out of Salt Lake in 18, same week as the crash. No full name, no current address, just a ghost trucker with a ghost name. Harlan. Same as the motel keeper. I knew then the road was calling me back, not to trap me, to help. I-84 south to I-15, then I-70 east again. Same route, reversed. Snow on the Wasatch Front melts into brown sage as I drop into Utah. Christmas music on the radio feels wrong, too cheerful for what I'm doing. I switch to silence. San Rafael swell at dusk. The ghost rocks rise like they've been waiting. Sun bleeding orange, same frozen light I remember from 2 years ago. My phone is at full charge, but I've turned off cellular. No distractions. Heart pounding, I slow to 60, watching. There, the unmarked ramp appears exactly where it did before. Smooth, black asphalt curving right, half hidden by canyon shadow. No shimmer this time. Solid, real, inviting. I don't hesitate. I take the exit. The world mutes instantly. Interstate roar gone, wind gone, engine muffled. Canyon walls close in, red stripes glowing like embers. Phone screen blacks out, fuel gauge freezes. The hook returns, not painful now, familiar, welcoming. I drive. The loops don't scare me anymore. Same spire 3 times, shadows shifting. I smile at it. The road is saying hello. Lights ahead sooner than expected. Haven Rest materializes smooth, no dramatic reveal. Evelyn's Place neon buzzing steady pink blue. Gas pump still 38 cents. The Starlight vacancy sign glowing solid blue, no flicker. I park in the same gravel spot. Same 2 vehicles, dusty 1967 Chevy pickup and cherry red Falcon. Plates still missing. The diner door jingles. Same smell. Coffee, bacon, metallic sweetness. They're all there. Evelyn behind the counter, beehive perfect, smile wide. Back for pie, honey? Clara in her sundress booth, older now, mid-20s look, but eyes ancient. Told you the road remembers kindness. Trucker at his usual spot, hat low, but he lifts it this time. Nods once. And Harlan, leaning on the doorframe between diner and motel office, arms crossed, same flannel, same weathered face. But his eyes soften when they meet mine. Figured you'd return, he says, voice still gravel, but warmer. Key brought you? I pull it from my pocket, still warm. I have questions. Evelyn pours coffee without asking, black, 2 sugars, slides a slice of apple pie a la mode. Eat first, then talk. I sit at the counter this time, not the exit booth. Feels right. The pie is perfect, crust flaky, apples tart, ice cream melting slow. Clara slides beside me. You look different, settled. I've finished some things, but not Mia's. Harlan moves behind the counter, pours himself coffee. Red Harlan was my brother, ran freight for a shady outfit out of Salt Lake. Hit and run on I-84 December 18. Panicked, ditched the rig in a quarry near Tremonton, never faced it. My fork stops halfway to my mouth. You knew? Road told me when you left, he said. We see pieces, not all. I came here in 58 running from my own wreck. Different highway, same guilt. Stayed to watch, to help when I could. Clara touches my arm. Some of us guide, some wait. You paid once with goodbye. Now you're here for truth. I set the fork down. Where's the rig? Proof? Harlan meets my eyes. Quarry dried up years ago, but the road keeps records. Mirror in room 13 shows what you need if you ask right. Coffee gone cold. I stand. Then let's ask. Harlan leads me across the lot. Breezeway same. Doors numbered, paint peeling. Room 13 unlocked now. Inside unchanged. Chenille spreads, dripping shower, Bible on nightstand. Bathroom mirror clear. No fog. I step in front. Harlan behind me, Clara too. Trucker and Evelyn at the door. Speak your need, Harlan says quiet. I look at my reflection. Show me the truth of Mia Reynolds' crash. Show me justice. Mirror ripples like water. Image shifts. Night rain on I-84. Mia laughing in the passenger seat. Me driving, distracted by phone, story tip email. Blinding headlights. Peterbilt swerves into our lane. Impact, spin, crunch. Driver's face in cab light. Younger Harlan. Red. Panic. Flees the scene. Then quarry. Rig pushed over edge, buried under gravel loads over years. But not gone. Coordinates flash. Old quarry off Highway 30, Cache County. Mirror clears. I'm crying. Not shock. Relief. Harlan's hand on my shoulder, gentle for such a big man. Road gave you what it could. The rest is yours. I wipe my face. Utah State Police will need more than a magic mirror. Clara smiles soft. Take this. She hands me a small brass plate, the rig's old VIN, pitted but readable. Heavy in my palm. Proof. Harlan nods. You paid the toll again, facing it full. The road will let you leave with what you need. Outside, vacancy sign glows steady. Sun finally moving, true dusk now. I hug Clara, thank Evelyn, shake Trucker's hand. He grunts, good luck. Harlan walks me to the Jeep. Keel cool now, debt settled. But Haven Rest, don't forget friends. I start the engine. It roars normal. Will I see you again? He shrugs. Road decides, but you'll always have a room. I pull out slow. Town fades smooth. No warp, no vanish. Ramp appears ahead, leading to I-70 westbound traffic, real and loud. I merge on. Phone buzzes alive. Full signal, December 22nd, 2025, 7:14 p.m. No time lost. I call Utah State Police tip line from memory, give VIN, quarry location, driver name Red Harlan, deceased probable. They take it serious. VIN match to old missing rig report. Case reopened by morning. January 2026. Charges filed against the company Red drove for. Negligent maintenance, covered up logs. Civil suit settled fast. Mia's name on a memorial plaque along I-84. Key in my drawer now. Cold metal. Normal. But sometimes driving at dusk, canyon walls look a little redder than average. Neon flickers in my rear view for a second. I smile. Wave. Keep driving. Because some roads aren't traps. They're bridges. And I know exactly where mine leads if I ever need pie.
January 2026. Snow finally sticks in Boise, blanketing the foothills white, turning State Street into a slow crawl of cautious drivers. Mia's case is closed, officially resolved without prosecution, since Red Harlan died of cancer in 21. But the company paid out big, and there's a quiet memorial marker now on I-84 where it happened. I stood there on New Year's Day, laid flowers, said the things I couldn't say at her funeral because grief had choked me silent. The key is cold metal in my drawer. Hasn't warmed once since I left Haven Rest the second time. But the dreams started again. Not Mia this time. New faces, strangers whispering names I don't know. A teenage boy in a Letterman jacket. A young mother clutching a toddler's hand. An old man in army fatigues from another era. All of them standing on the nowhere road, looking lost, calling out to someone just out of reach. I wake up with their names on my tongue. First, it was Tyler Brooks, 17, vanished outside Price, Utah, 2019. Then Marisol Vega and her daughter Luna, car found abandoned near Green River, 2022. Then Sergeant Elias Crow,
reported AWOL from Fort Douglas in 1954, but family swears he was heading home on leave. I looked them up. All real missing persons cases, all along I-70 corridor, all unsolved. The hook is back, not in my chest this time, but lower in my gut. A slow twist that says unfinished business isn't just mine anymore. February 14, Valentine's Day. I'm supposed to be on a date, some nice guy my editor set me up with, but I cancel last minute. Pack the Jeep instead. Cold brew, notebook, voice recorder, batteries fresh, Mia's old photo in the visor. South again. I don't wait for dusk this time. I know the road now. I take I-70 east at noon, bright winter sun glaring off snow patches in the swell. The ramp appears right on cue, smooth, unmarked, waiting. I turn in. Silence swallows the world. Phone blacks, fuel freezes. Hook eases into something almost comfortable. Haven Rest greets me like an old friend. Neon steady. Gravel lot has 3 vehicles now. The Chevy, the Falcon, and a new one, a battered 90s Subaru Forester, frost on the windows like it's been sitting a while. Diner door jingles. They're waiting. Evelyn with coffee already poured. Clara older still, late 20s look now, eyes holding decades. Trucker lifts his hat fully this time, reveals a tired face I recognize from a 2002 missing poster. Harlan at the counter, arms crossed, but he smiles, small, real. Figured you felt them, he says. I slide onto a stool. Tyler, Marisol, and Luna. Elias. They're here? Clara nods. Pulling harder lately. Roads hungry. More lost than usual. Evelyn sets a plate in front of me. Grilled cheese and tomato soup. Comfort food I didn't order. You're not the first to come back twice, but you might be the first to come back willing. I dip the sandwich. I'm not staying. Harlan leans in. Didn't say you had to. Some of us guide now, help the new ones pay their toll quicker, less suffering. I look at each of them. Is that what you all do? Clara shrugs. I greet, help the young ones not panic. Prom night was my toll. Facing I caused the crash that killed my date. Now I ease that fear in others. Trucker speaks for the first time, voice rough from disuse. Name's Ray. Left a wife, 2 kids in '02. Chose the bottle over going home. Toll was admitting it to them, in the mirror. Couldn't. So I watch the lot, make sure cars don't sit too long. Evelyn refills my soup. I keep the diner open, feed them, remind them they're still human. Harlan meets my eyes. I keep the keys, decide who gets a room, who gets shown the mirror early. Red's guilt was mine too, covered for him once long ago, paid by staying. I finish the soup. And me? Harlan slides a new key across, room 7 this time, his old room. You paid your personal toll. Now you got a choice. Leave clean or help the others pay theirs. The road's offering you a job. The hook twists. Not pain. Purpose. I take the key. Room 7 smells like flannel and coffee. Bigger than 13. Double bed, small desk, window overlooking the canyon that isn't on any map. Mirror above the dresser clear, waiting. I don't hesitate. Show me Tyler Brooks. Mirror ripples. Night highway. Tyler, 17, driving his dad's pickup too fast, texting a girl. Swerves into the median near Price. Wakes here confused, angry. Been looping 3 years, refusing to admit he caused his own wreck. Pride keeping him stuck. I speak to the mirror. Tell him I know. Tell him it's okay to be scared, to say sorry. Image shifts. Tyler in the diner, Clara talking soft, him finally crying. Mirror clears. Next, Marisol and Luna. Car broke down outside Green River. Marisol walked for help with Luna, left the car. Exposure risk real, but guilt worse. She'd been fleeing an abusive ex, felt she'd failed as a mom. Toll? Forgiving herself. I ask the mirror to show her Luna is safe here, that staying isn't failure if it keeps her child from harm. Image, Marisol holding Luna in the motel courtyard, Harlan bringing blankets, her face softening. Then Elias Crow, oldest, 1954, hitchhiking home from Fort Douglas, caught a ride with a driver who robbed and left him in the desert, died slow. Toll, admitting he deserted, not AWOL, but chose never to go back to a war that broke him. Hardest, I speak anyway. Tell him the war's long over. Tell him his family waited. Tell him coming here wasn't cowardice, it was survival. Mirror shows Elias in the gas station, Ray handing him coffee, old soldier finally sitting, shoulders shaking. I step back, exhausted. Hours passed? Days? Time's still slippery. Harlan at the door. 4 tolls paid today because of you. The road's grateful. I hand him room 7 key. I can't stay full time. I've got a life out there. He nods. Don't need full time, just when the pull hits. Keel warm, you come, help who you can, leave when they're ready. Bridge, not resident. I smile. Deal. Vacancy sign outside glows soft. I drive out at what feels like dawn. Ramp spits me onto I-70 West. Traffic normal, phone alive. February 15. One night lost again.
July 2027. Monsoon season in the southwest, the kind where the sky bruises purple and the desert flashes from bone dry to raging flood in minutes. I'm on assignment for a national magazine, piece on flash flood dangers along I-70 through the San Rafael Swell. Ironic, right? The editor doesn't know I volunteered for this stretch specifically. The key warmed 3 weeks ago, hotter than ever, burned through my pocket on a flight from Boise to Denver. I knew what it meant. Big pull coming. Multiple souls. Danger. I've been back to Haven Rest a dozen times since February 26. Quick visits mostly. Help a lost hiker face dehydration guilt. Guide a runaway teen to forgive herself. Sit with a grieving father who caused a pileup. In and out. Bridge, not resident. But this time, the dreams were different. Water rising. Cars swept off the road, screams swallowed by thunder, dozens of faces, new and terrified. The storm hits just past Green River. I'm eastbound in the Jeep, wipers on full, visibility down to 20 feet. Radio emergency alert, severe thunderstorm warning, flash flooding expected in low-lying areas, seek higher ground. Then the phone glitches, same old flicker, GPS voice calm. Recalculating, in half a mile, take the exit. The Gramp appears through sheets of rain, asphalt gleaming like a black river. I take it. World mutes. Rain stops pounding, sound just gone, like the storm paused outside a bubble. Canyon walls rise, water streaming down red rock in waterfalls that weren't there before. Road stays dry, impossibly. Haven Rest ahead, but changed. The lot is full, 10, 12 vehicles, new ones, a soaked minivan with Colorado plates, a jacked-up Ford F-150 half covered in mud, a Prius with California stickers, even a Greyhound-style bus tipped on its side like it slid in. All empty. Diner lights blaze bright against the black sky. Door jingles when I push in. Chaos. 20, maybe 30 people crammed inside, wet, shivering, wide-eyed, families clutching kids, a bus driver in uniform pacing, teenagers huddled together, an elderly couple holding hands in a booth. Evelyn, Clara, Ray, Harlan all working overtime. Evelyn pouring coffee and soup like a machine, Clara wrapping blankets around crying children, Ray directing people to booths. Harlan at the door, soaked flannel clinging, guiding new arrivals in from the storm that rages only outside the town limits. He sees me, nods once, relief in his eyes. Big one, flash flood on the interstate, culvert washed out near Spotted Wolf Canyon, dozens swept in at once. I drop my bag. How many need the mirror? All of them, he says, grim. Different tolls, some guilt. Texting while driving, some running from something worse out there, a few just bad luck, no guilt, but fear holding 'em. Evelyn appears beside me, sundress somehow dry. We can't handle this many alone. The road brought you for a reason. I roll up sleeves. Where do we start?
Harlan points to the motel. Rooms full, using the big mirror in the office. Faster if we work together. We set up assembly line style. I take the mirror station. Harlan brings them one by one or in small groups. Clara preps them with soft talk and coffee. Evelyn feeds. Ray keeps order. First, young mom from the minivan, Sophia, hydroplaned trying to make Denver by nightfall, kids in back. Guilt crushing her. She'd ignored the weather alerts to keep a job interview. Mirror shows the crash, van spinning, water rising, her screaming kids' names. I guide her. Look closer. They're here. Safe. You didn't kill them. Forgive the choice. She sobs, nods. Mirror swirls, spits her and the kids back to a dry pull-off on I-70. Van towed but intact. Case reported as miracle survival. Next, bus driver, Marcus, Greyhound from Vegas to Salt Lake. Ignored fatigue warnings, nodded off. Bus tipped. Passengers blame him. Mirror brutal. Wreckage, screams. He faces it full. Admits fault to empty seats that become the passengers' faces, forgiving him. Released. Hours blur, or days, time meaningless here. Teen couple who'd been fighting, distracted driving. Elderly man who sped through floodwaters showing off for grandkids. Trucker, new one, not Ray, hauling illegal load, cut corners. Each toll different, some easy, simple apology. Some brutal, facing deaths they caused. I lose count. Midnight? Dawn? Storm still rages outside town. Last group, family of 5 from the Prius. Dad, Vince, had been drinking, hid it from wife, thought he could handle the storm. Car swept into a wash. All 5 here, but Vince's guilt toxic, poisoning the reunion. Hardest yet. Mirror shows the plunge, water roaring in windows, kids panicking. Vince's blood alcohol truth revealed. Family turns on Vince, anger, grief, wife screaming he killed them. I step in close. Vince, look at them, really look. He does, sees their fear turning to pity. Wife reaches through the glass image, touches his face. We're here, together. Fix it with us. He breaks. Full confession. Promise to get help if they get out. Mirror accepts. Whole family vanishes. Reports later say Prius found stuck in mud. All 5 alive. Hypothermic, but okay. Vince checks into rehab day after. Diner finally quiets. Empty booths. Vehicles gone from the lot one by one. Storm ends as suddenly as it began. Stars out. Wrong constellations, but bright. We 5, Evelyn, Clara, Ray, Harlan, and me, sit exhausted at the counter. Evelyn pours one last round of coffee. Harlan claps my shoulder. Saved more tonight than in 20 years combined. Clara smiles tired. The road's balance shifted. Fewer stuck now, thanks to you. I sip the coffee. What happens when there's none left? Evelyn chuckles soft. The road always finds more lost. But lighter load now, thanks to you. Harlan slides room 7 key across. Stay the night. Real rest. I do. Morning, whatever morning means here, sun rises proper. Canyon walls glow gentle. I pack to leave. Harlan walks me out. Key might cool longer this time. You earned it. I hug them all goodbye. Ramp waits. I merge onto I-70. Dry pavement, storm damage crews working, but traffic moving. Phone alive. July 18th, 2027. One night lost. News alerts. Miracle survivors in I-70 flash flood. Dozens rescued with no fatalities despite multiple wrecks. I smile. Drive west. Key and pocket. Cool for now. But I know it'll warm again. And when it does, I'll be ready. Because some storms you run from. Others you drive straight into, to pull people out. October 2028. 5 years since that first wrong turn. The Jeep has 180,000 miles now. New transmission, same cracked windshield I never bothered to replace. It feels like a scar I earned. I'm 39, lines around my eyes from too many nights driving with high beams on, chasing warmth from a brass key that hasn't stirred in 14 months.
14 months of silence. No dreams, no whispers, no new names on my tongue when I wake. The cold case files I keep open on my laptop gather digital dust. Haven Rest visits stopped after the storm. Biggest pull ever, then nothing. Like the road went quiet to breathe. I tell myself it's good, balance restored, my bridge work done. But the hollow ache is back, deeper than before. I'm in Boise covering a routine city council meeting for freelance cash when the key finally moves. Not warm, cold, ice cold, like it's been in a freezer. I drop my notebook in the press row, ignore the stairs, bolt for the parking lot. Key in my palm burns with frost. First time ever. Something's wrong. I drive south that night. No packing, just go. I-70 at dawn. Fall colors bleeding into the swell. Aspens gold against red rock. Ramp appears without glitch, without dusk. Mid-morning bright. I take it. Silence hits harder than usual. Not muted, empty. Canyon walls dull, colors washed out like an old photograph left in sun. Road cracked now, weeds pushing through asphalt that was pristine. Haven Rest ahead looks tired. Neon signs dark, Evelyn's place windows boarded. Gas pump rusted solid. The starlight roof sagging, vacancy sign hanging by one chain, glass cracked. Lot empty except for the originals. Dusty Chevy, Cherry Falcon, both flatter tires, windshields spiderwebbed. I park, gravel overgrown, door to diner stuck, push hard. Hinges scream. Inside, dust thick on counters. Booths torn, vinyl split. Jukebox dark, glass smashed. Coffee pots cold, webbed with cobwebs. Smell gone. No bacon, no metallic sweetness, just stale air and decay. Hello? Echo answers. I walk through to the motel office. Register still open, but pages brittle, ink faded. Last entry mine, from the storm. Room's doors ajar, beds stripped, mattresses mildewed, Bibles gone. Room 13 mirror shattered on the floor, shards dull. Room 7, Harlan's, door wide. Inside, flannel shirt draped over a chair, like he just stepped out, but dust on shoulders thick. No one. I call names. Clara, Evelyn, Ray, Harlan. Nothing but wind through broken windows. Outside, canyon quieter than ever. No birds, no insects. Stars visible even in day. Faint, wrong. The hook gone completely. No pull, no ache. Just absence. I sit on the motel breezeway curb, key in hand, still ice cold. Hours pass, or minutes. Sun doesn't move. Footsteps finally. Slow crunch on gravel. Harlan. But not. Translucent. Edges flickering like bad signal. Flannel same, face same, but pale, see-through. Canyon wall visible behind him. Ava. Voice distant, layered. I stand. What happened? He sits beside me, doesn't dent the dust. Road's done. Balance tipped too far. Because of the storm, we saved too many? He nods faint. You saved too many. Pulled too hard the other way. Lost don't come as often now. Warnings spread, apps, signs, better weather tech. Folks listen more. Road starves. I look around. So it dies? Fades, he corrects. We fade with it. Clara first, went peaceful, smiling, said thanks for the extra years. Evelyn next, closed the diner one last night and turned off the lights. Ray drove the Chevy out to the edge, parked, and walked back, smiling. Me last. Tears hot on my cheeks. I didn't mean... He knows. His hand hovers near mine. Cold air, no touch. You were the best thing happened to this place. Gave purpose, closure. But every road ends somewhere. What about the lost? Who helps now? He shrugs, translucent. The real world does. Or they learn harder lessons. Cycle changes. Key in my palm warms suddenly. Not hot, gentle. Like goodbye. Harlan stands. One last gift.
Mirror in office still works, barely. See what you need. I follow him. Office mirror cracked but holding. Image ripples weak. Shows me future flashes. Me older, writing a book, not true crime. This story, veiled, called fiction, but truth between lines. Readers feeling warned on I-70, detouring storms, checking weather, fewer vanishings. Then me at Mia's grave at peace. Finally, Jeep parked here years from now, rusted, overgrown. Me old, scattering ashes. Whose? Mine? Theirs? Both. Mirror fades to plain glass. Harlan's outlined thinning. Time for you to go, Ava. Roads closing the ramp permanent. I hug air where he stands. Thank you, all of you. His smile real, even faint. Thank you, bridge girl. Kept us human longer than we deserved. Wind picks up strong, pushing me toward the Jeep. I get in. Engine starts first try. Harlan waves from the lot as I pull away. Clara appears beside him, sundress fluttering though no breeze. Evelyn and Ray join. Whole crew, translucent but together. Town shrinks in rear view. Ramp ahead. I take it. World slams back in. Sound, color, wind. I-70 traffic heavy, normal. Phone alive. October 18th, 2028. 1 day lost. Rear view, canyon empty. No ramp scar. Key in my hand. Normal temperature. Metal dull, brass tarnished. I pull over at the next overlook. Ghost rocks glowing in afternoon sun. I kiss the key once. Toss it out the window, watch it arc, glint and vanish into sagebrush. Drive west. No warmth in pocket anymore. No dreams that night, or ever again. Years later, my book comes out, The Nowhere Road, billed as fiction. Climbs lists, truckers swear by it, apps add warnings. Disappearances in the swell drop to near zero. I visit Mia's grave every October 17th, speak out loud, tell her about the friends I made, the lives we saved, the road that isn't there anymore, and how sometimes, at dusk, driving that stretch, I swear I smell coffee and apple pie on the wind, see a faint blue glow in the canyon, hear a distant bell jingle. I smile, wave, keep driving. Because some roads don't trap you, they change you, then let you go. And that's the real miracle.
April 2032. 9 years since the first exit. I'm 43 now, hair more gray than auburn, laugh lines deeper than worry ones for the first time in my life. The Jeep finally gave up last year. Engine seized outside Winnemucca and sits under a tarp in my Boise driveway like a retired horse. I drive a newer Subaru now, sensible all-wheel drive, but the I brake for ghosts sticker got transferred over. Some habits die hard. The book did better than anyone expected. The Nowhere Road hit bestseller lists, got optioned for a limited series. They'll probably ruin it, but the check was nice. I tour sometimes, book festivals, true crime cons, libraries in small desert towns. I talk about road safety, about listening to weather alerts, about not ignoring that gut feeling when something feels off. I never mention Haven Rest by name. Readers think it's fiction. That's fine. The key? I never found it in the sagebrush that day. Figured it stayed where it belonged. Life settled. Good settled. I mentor young journalists, date a nice history professor who doesn't mind my occasional 1,000-yard stares, volunteer at a crisis hotline. Mia's Memorial Fund helps families of hit-and-run victims. Closure feels real. Then, the letters started. First one came last fall, postmarked Green River, Utah, no return address. Inside, a brass key, smaller than mine but same star stamp. Note in childish handwriting. Found this by the road. It was warm. Thought of your book. I froze reading it. Second letter, February, from a trucker in Salina. Enclosed a Polaroid, blurry shot of an unmarked ramp at dusk, neon glow faint in the background. Saw this after reading your fiction, thought you should know. Third, March, a college kid hiking the swell, voice shaking. I felt something pull me toward an exit that wasn't on my map. Remembered your book. Kept driving. Thanks. More trickled in.
Emails, DMs, handwritten notes forwarded from my publisher, all saying the same. The road tried to call, but they resisted because of the story. The pull never came back for me. No warmth, no dreams, until last week. I'm in Denver for a speaking gig when it hits. Not the key, I don't have one anymore, but the old hook. Gentle this time, not in my chest, in my mind. A whisper, come see. No fear, just invitation. I cancel the flight home, rent a car, drive west. I-70 through the swell at sunset. Aspens gone, just red rock and open sky. I slow where the ramp used to be. Nothing. No shimmer, no unmarked asphalt, just canyon wall, petroglyphs faded but still there, dancing figures, hollow eyes. I pull over anyway, hike down the shoulder, boots crunching on gravel that feels ordinary. Half-mile in, I find it. Not the town, not the diner or motel, a clearing in a side canyon I swear wasn't here before. In the center, 4 stones arranged in a square. Simple markers, one for each of them. Clara's, a small bouquet of dried wildflowers, sundress fabric scrap tied around the stone. Evelyn's, an old coffee mug, chipped rim placed like an offering. Ray's, a worn trucker hat, faded but folded neat. Harlan's, the brass key, my key, star stamp glinting in the low sun, warm when I pick it up. No note needed. I sit between the stones. Sun sets proper, no freeze, no blood orange lock, just natural twilight. Wind picks up soft, carries scents, coffee, apple pie, engine oil, sage. Whispers thread through, not words, feelings, gratitude, peace, release. I speak out loud. Thank you for waiting, for trusting me with your stories, for letting me help. The key warms once more, gentle pulse, then cools forever. I bury it at the center of the square, cover it with red dirt. Stand. The clearing feels lighter, colors brighter. I hike back to the car, drive west. That night in a Provo motel, ordinary chain, bad coffee, I dream clear for the first time in years. All 4 of them standing on a road that stretches into stars, not trapped, free. Clara waves, sundress bright. Evelyn holds a pie, smiling wide. Ray tips his hat. Harlan nods once, respect. They turn together, walk away down the road, fading not into darkness, but light. I cry. Good crying. Next morning, I check my phone. Dozens of new messages, more letters forwarded, more stories of people who felt the pull and kept driving, families who checked weather apps because of a fictional book, hikers who turned back. Disappearances in the swell, officially 0 for the past 3 years. I smile, drive home to Boise. The Subaru feels right now, no need for the old Jeep. Years pass. I still speak sometimes, still mentor. The professor and I get married quiet. Courthouse, Mia's photo on the dash. I visit the clearing every October 17th, leave flowers, coffee in a thermos, sometimes pie from a roadside diner. The stones stay, wildflowers grow around them natural. No neon, no vacancy sign, just peace. One last thing. Last month, a young journalist emailed me. She's writing about vanishing highways, found my book inspiring, wants to interview me about where the idea came from. I write back, meet me in Green River. I'll buy you coffee. We sit in a real diner, modern, fluorescent lights, decent pie. She asks the question everyone asks, is any of it true? I sip my coffee, black, 2 sugars, look out the window at the red rocks glowing in sunset. Smile. Every word, I say. She laughs, thinks I'm joking. I don't correct her. Because the road doesn't need believers anymore. It did its job. Changed what needed changing, healed what could be healed. Then let go. And sometimes, on quiet desert nights, when the wind carries the faint scent of coffee and apple pie, I know they're out there, not trapped, not waiting, just free, walking a better road. One that finally leads home. I raise my mug to the empty booth across from me. Wave once. Keep living. because that's the real toll paid. Not staying, but carrying the story forward so no one else has to.
June 2035. 10 years, 8 months, 12 days since the wrong turn that changed everything. I'm 46 now, fully gray-haired but owning it. No more dye jobs to chase youth. The Subaru got traded in last spring for a hybrid Tacoma pickup, practical for hauling podcast gear and the occasional road trip. Life in Boise is steady. Married to Tom, the history prof, we celebrate our 5th anniversary with pie from a local diner, my one superstition. No kids, but mentoring a dozen young reporters through a nonprofit I founded, Road Ghosts Watch. Mia's fund has helped 70 families close hit-and-run cases, scholarships for victims' siblings. The book spawned a podcast, Echoes of the Nowhere, 2 seasons charting real vanishings turned miracles post-publication. Listeners send tips, warnings. Disappearances along I-70? Near zero. Utah DOT added Ghost Rocks advisory signs. Unmarked exits, Mirage Common, stay on interstate. Apps ping swell anomaly alerts based on my data dumps. No pulls, no whispers. The clearing in the side canyon? I visit yearly. Stones intact, wildflowers thriving. Key buried deep, undisturbed. Harlan's flannel scrap gone once, raven nest material, but replaced by a fresh one, folded neat. They watch still in ways. Until last month. Tom and I hiking the swell, anniversary detour. At the petroglyph panel near old ramp site, a girl appears, 16 maybe, backpack heavy, dark braids, Navajo patterns on her jacket, staring at the dancing figures like they whisper back. "You Ava Reynolds?" she asks, voice steady, accent southwest. I nod, cautious. Tom hangs back, knows the drill. Name's Lena Yazzie. Grandpa was ranger at Arches, the hiker you wrote about first, said you chased real ghosts. I smile faint. He was right. She pulls a small tin from her pack. Inside, shards of blue neon glass, motel vacancy sign fragments. Warm to touch. Found these washing out of a flash wash last monsoon, by your book's coordinates. Figured, for you. My throat tightens. Where? Same canyon pocket. Town site's gone, but foundation's there. Concrete pads, rusted pipes, like it dissolved. Tom snaps photos, evidence for the archive. We hike to it together. Clearing expanded. Stone markers overgrown but clear. 4 pads in a rough square. Diner, motel office, gas station, breezeway. Twisted metal scraps, jukebox arm, counter stool leg. Register page fossilized in dry mud. My signature faint. Ava Reynolds. Lena kneels at Harlan's stone. Grandpa said places like this are doorways, old ones. Spirits guard till balance, then fade. Yours helped too many, closed polite. I touch the glass shards. Warmth faint, like dying embers. Whispers? No. Memories. Flash. First pie at Evelyn's. Clara's sundress wave. Ray's grunt. Harlan's nod. Echoes. Back home, I test the podcast waters. Episode tease, the road that healed itself. Fans flood in, truckers crediting detours, hikers sharing pull stories turned back. One email chills. Felt the tug last week near Ghost Rocks, saw neon flicker, heard bell, remembered your book, pulled over, waited it out. Nothing happened. Thanks, Ava. The road echoes now, not traps, warnings. Fall 2035. Book 2 drops. Echoes of Haven. Nonfiction this time. Veiled names, coordinates public. Interviews with survivors we saved. Forward by Lena's grandpa. Hits harder than fiction. Oprah bumps it. Netflix revives the series. Faithful, eerie score mimicking jukebox Patsy Cline. Speaking tour ramps. Green River Diner packed. Fans buying pie slices, toasting Evelyn's recipe. Salina truck stop erects a plaque. In memory of the lost who found home. Safe travels, stay on the map. December 2035.
10th anniversary of my second return. Tom and I drive the swell in the Tacoma, snow flurries early but roads clear, pull over at the overlook, hike to the clearing, flashlights beam petroglyphs. Stones glow soft under moon. Phosphorescent? No, quartz flecks catching light. We sit vigil. Midnight. Wind sighs. Bell jingles distant. Neon hum. 4 figures materialize. Not ghosts, silhouettes soft-edged against stars. Clara waves, sundress starlit. Evelyn holds pie plate, steaming. Ray tips hat. Harlan nods, proud. No words, just presence. Farewell. They fade into light trails, shooting toward horizon like Perseids. Tom squeezes my hand. They're gone for good? Yeah, mission accomplished. We leave offerings, 4 pies, coffee thermos, hats, flannel scraps. Bury the neon shards at center. Drive home New Year's Eve. Radio plays Patsy Cline unprompted with Walkin' After Midnight. We laugh. 2036 dawns quiet. Podcast ends season 3 finale. The legacy lives in you. Last episode downloads crash servers. Retire the road chases. Mentor full-time. Tom and I buy a cabin near McCall, Idaho. Foothills, not the desert. Write novels now. Happy endings. But October 17th every year, swell pilgrimage. Clearing sacred now. Locals call it Reynolds Rest. Small plaque from fans. For the bridge girl. Thanks for the warnings. One last dream, spring 2040. I'm old, 70s maybe? Standing at the old ramp scar. Canyon walls solid. Petroglyphs smile. Harlan's voice final. Roads healed, Ava. Yours too. Drive on. Wake smiling. No tears. Tom gone a decade. Heart peaceful. Lena Yazzie runs the nonprofit now. PhD in folklore. Her kids call me Nana Ava. Legacy? The nowhere road became everywhere warning. Travelers check mirrors, feel poles, remember the story. Fewer vanish. More homes. That's the end. Not tragic, triumphant. Because some highways don't exist to swallow you. They appear to save you. To remind, listen to the hook. Turn back if it tugs wrong, or follow if it leads right. I followed, found friends, saved souls, including mine. Now I drive normal roads, sunsets real, no frozen orange, just peace. Apple pie on the seat, coffee steaming, bell jingling in memory. Wave to the rear view, they wave back, forever.